Cora Jakes Coleman comes from a prestigious family that in no way overshadows her own gifts and talents. Cora serves as the Executive Director of Destiny House Children's Ministry at the Potter's House of Dallas, where she's able to impact the lives of children and teach them the importance of Christ. She's not only a spiritual mother, she's also a mother to Amari and Jason, as well as a loving wife to Brandon. Her fertility faith blog has helped change lives. Her writing has encouraged women and families that are suffering from infertility.
I am speaking fertility faith and speaking life into the infertile being so that we can begin to produce our dreams and produce our promises no matter what our fear is.
Cora is a dynamic, down-to-earth preacher who captures God's heart with her prayers and inspires her audience to faith it with her pen, her prayer, and her platform. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cora Jakes Coleman.
I'm going to ask one of our favorite girls,
Hello.
up here to talk to us. We talked about the role that she played in the movie as an orphan, but let's talk to someone that really has taken on the role of being a mommy by choice. Miss Cora Breon Jakes Coleman. We were talking to about Orphan Annie and the foster system and how the kids have to be encouraged to go forward. What made you choose to go that direction?
Well, early on, about at the age of 22, I was diagnosed with infertility. And my husband and I, we decided to go through our first IVF cycle. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. And so I did not allow that to stop my dream. Since I was a little girl, I was dreamed of becoming a mommy. And I believe that it doesn't have to be birthed. I don't believe you have to birth a child in order to be a mommy, nor do I believe birthing a child makes you a mommy. And so I decided to fight for what I wanted. And we decided to go through fostering to adopt. And we told them that we were open to girls or boys, whatever God had for us. And he landed the most beautiful little girl in the world in our lap. And she was 3 when we got her. She was turning 4, and now she's 6 years old. My beautiful daughter, Amari Coleman. She has a heart for God. That's my pumpkin. She has a heart for God and a heart of worship, and I believe that God truly prepared her for our family. She knew things like instantly, and she knew connections, and she had attachments right off the bat, and it was an amazing experience to know that even though the world said I couldn't have it, God had been preparing her for me.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been doing. We've been raising her and being godparents and doing the whole thing.
What have you learned since going through the foster system and becoming Amari's mother? What has it taught you?
That the foster system is whack.
Oh.
It's flawed. It's seriously flawed. But I've also learned that there are a lot of people willing to drop their gifts. There are so many children out there that are needing homes and needing parents and needing love. And after having been diagnosed with infertility, it's heartbreaking to see people so willing to drop their gifts and just leave them. and just leave them to fend for themselves, to try to figure out love for themselves, to try to figure out safety and security. And raising a foster child is so much different than raising a biological child. They have different emotional problems and issues. They need to feel safe, but they need to have control. They need to be independent, but they want to be under you. And so trying to figure out a healthy balance of allowing her that independence, but still parenting her has been a journey. It has been a journey and a challenge, but I believe that we're doing a good job.
Yes,
She's
you
an
are.
amazing little girl.
She's
an amazing little girl. And I try to always instill in her that we don't look behind us, that we are being catapulted to our future and what God has ahead of us. So
Yeah.
That's amazing. Because I've watched you and I've watched Amari just wrap me around her finger. I mean, she's got me all tied up. And I know that a lot of people think that getting into foster care is a lucrative business.
right.
But it's not about the business.
Not, and you have to have a heart for God's children. You can't play. You can't play with God's kids like that. There are consequences behind playing with God's children like that. And when you get into foster care for money, you lose the opportunity to bless God's child and truly love them at full capacity.
Yes.
And when it is just about the money, there are consequences to playing with God's children, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I wasn't going into this for the money. I was going into this because I had a desire and a passion
Yes.
inside of me to mother a broken person because I knew what that felt like.
Yeah.
And so I felt like if I am whole now and working on becoming complete, I have enough love in me to give to another broken child. That's why I went into it.
And what I love is that you've taken that passion and not just giving it to Amari, but you're sharing it abroad through your blog, fertilityfaith.com. What really birthed that, and what have you noticed as the response has been?
Well, I felt like when I went through infertility and went through all of it, I said, God, you got to turn this into something. If I'm going to fight this battle and I'm going to go through this war, you got to make it count. We got to turn this into something.
Yes.
And so I refused to let my pain overtake me. I chose to turn it into my purpose. And the enemy tried to play in my head over
Yes.
and over again. You can't speak until you've won. And you can't heal until you're healed. And nobody wants to hear from the person who is broken. They want to hear from the people who have won. And God told me, you can heal while you're hurting.
You have to.
Who said that you couldn't? And so I decided to start fertilityfaith.com and just write about my journey, but I didn't want it to be locked into just women. And God began to show me that infertile is the inability to produce. And so I find that we as people in the world have such a fear of success, but also a fear of failure, that we refuse to produce our purpose and produce our promises, and therefore we become infertile. And so I am speaking fertility faith and speaking life into the infertile being, so that we can begin to produce our dreams and produce our promises no matter what our fear is.
Cora, you are amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And we're so glad for you and Brandon and for Amari, Nicole. We're so glad for her, and we're grateful that you would share your journey with us today. Thank you. Mommy loves you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ride the wave. Yeah.
That's our ride the wave symbol.
We
ride
ride
the
the
wave.
wave.
Ride the wave.
Bless you. Thank you, baby.
Give this mic.
It's okay, just take a
You
shot.
just drop it on the floor and say sexual chocolate.
Then fix your tutu. Fix your tutu, girl.
I pray that your faith be bigger than a mustard seed. I pray that you desire faith that is bigger than that. I pray that you allow your faith to speak for you, to fight for you, and to push for you. I pray that you understand that the power of your faith can produce your purpose. I pray that you understand that this is the beginning of something bigger than you can even fathom. I pray that you become a supernatural thinker, because God can do exceedingly and abundantly above anything you could ever ask or think. So I pray you think big. I pray you believe big. I pray that you know big and you supersede big. I pray that you understand that this faithing it thing is not just a thing, but it is an ethical term that you will live your life by, that you will faith fight to your purpose. I pray that you understand that the enemy is after your faith because he understands the power in it. I pray that you take a hold of your faith and use it to benefit you, not break you. I pray that you become a faither. Amen.
Lord, I know it's impossible to please you. Faith is not an emotion at all. What should I